In some seasons in your life, the worst thing you can do is remain constantly visible, always available, always responding, always performing, always explaining who you are to the world. Carl Jung spent much of his life studying a truth that modern life tries to hide. You cannot discover yourself while constantly being distracted by everyone else. The personality you present to the world is only one part of you. Beneath it is a quieter voice, one that is often drowned out by noise, by approval, by expectations, by endless activity. Jung believed that every person must eventually leave the crowd, not forever, but long enough to encounter their own soul. This is not about escaping life or rejecting people. It's about creating enough silence to hear the parts of yourself that have been trying to speak all along. The voice inside you that is pulling you to become your highest self can only be heard clearly in silence. Sometimes, the greatest transformation does not happen in public. It happens in solitude, in the season where it seems like nothing is happening, when in reality, everything inside you is beginning to change. If you've resonated with this video this far, I would like for you to like it and share it with someone who needs to listen to this with you. Solitude is where the real self begins. Carl Jung once withdrew from the world, not because he had all the answers, but because he realized the answers he was searching for could not be found in the crowd. They had to be found within. Modern life teaches you to stay visible, keep posting, keep talking, keep networking, keep proving that you're doing something. But the soul does not grow from constant exposure. It grows through reflection. The crowd drowns your inner voice. Every opinion you consume, every expectation you absorb, every comparison you entertain pulls your attention a little farther away from yourself. Eventually, you become an expert at hearing everyone else's voice and a stranger to your own. You begin to have borrowed thoughts and opinions you've mistaken as yours. Jung believed that the unconscious speaks quietly through dreams, symbols, intuition, moments of reflection, moments in silence. But if your mind is constantly filled with noise, how could you ever hear it? Sometimes the greatest act of courage is turning down the volume of the world. You cannot discover yourself while performing. Many people don't know who they are. They only know who they've learned to appear to be. Successful, funny, strong, unbothered. Jung called this mask the persona. It helps us function in society. But when you never take it off, you eventually forget there was ever a face beneath it. Solitude is where the mask begins to loosen, where you stop asking, who do they want me to be? And begin asking, who am I when nobody is watching? The first feeling is often discomfort. This is why so many people avoid being alone. Not because solitude is empty, because it is revealing. Without distraction, your thoughts become louder. Your fears surface. Your unresolved emotions ask for attention. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Jung would say, don't run, stay. Because what rises in silence is often what has been waiting to be healed, what has been waiting to be heard. The discomfort is not the destination, it is the doorway. If the world went silent for 1 week, no notifications, no opinions, no expectations, who would you discover beneath all the noise? Maybe the person you've been searching for has been waiting for you in solitude all along. Most people fear disappearing. They fear being forgotten, missing out, losing relevance. But Jung would ask a different question. What if the greatest loss is never meeting yourself at all? The unconscious emerges in silence. The unconscious does not shout, it whispers. It appears in dreams, in symbols, in sudden insights, in emotions you cannot immediately explain. These are not interruptions, they are messages. But if every quiet moment is filled with noise, another video, another conversation, another distraction, another scroll, then those messages never reach your awareness. The soul is patient, but it refuses to compete with constant noise. What you avoid in solitude controls you in public. There is a reason some people cannot sit alone. Silence introduces them to themselves. The anxiety they buried, the grief they never faced, the anger they disguised as kindness, the loneliness they covered with busyness. Jung believed that whatever remains unconscious does not disappear. It simply governs your life without permission. The emotion you refuse to acknowledge becomes the emotion that quietly controls your decisions. To disappear for a while is not to escape yourself. It is to stop escaping from yourself. The world rewards performance. The soul rewards honesty. The world will always reward your performance, your achievements, your productivity, your image. But the soul asks a different question. Who are you without applause? Without titles? Without an audience? Would you still recognize yourself? Or have you become so attached to your role that you've forgotten the person playing it? Solitude strips away the unnecessary, not to leave you empty, but to reveal what has always been essential. Every transformation has a hidden season. A seed does not grow on the surface. It disappears beneath the earth. There, where no one can applaud it, no one can admire it, no one even knows it's changing. Yet beneath the darkness, its roots are forming. Jung understood that psychological growth works the same way. The most important parts of you are often built during seasons the world mistakes for inactivity. Your withdrawal may look like disappearance, but inwardly it is preparation. If you disappeared for 30 days, not to hide from life, but to return to yourself, what part of your identity would remain? After every role, every expectation, and every distraction fell away, maybe that is the person you were always meant to become. Return only after you have found yourself. Eventually, the season of solitude comes to an end. You return to the world. But if your solitude was genuine, you do not return as the same person. Solitude is not escape, it is confrontation. Many people mistake isolation for growth, but hiding from the world is not the same as finding yourself. Jung did not withdraw because he feared people. He withdrew because he refused to live unconsciously. Real solitude is not running away. It is turning toward everything you have spent your life running from. Your fears, your contradictions, your shadow. Only then does silence become healing instead of lonely. You return different because you are no longer chasing. When you finally know yourself, something quiet changes. You stop chasing constant validation. You stop forcing connections that were never meant to last. You stop saying yes when your soul is screaming no. People notice the difference, not because you become louder, but because you become more difficult to manipulate, more difficult to impress, more difficult to distract. There is a quiet certainty that belongs only to people who have spent time alone with themselves. Individuation demands the courage to walk alone. Jung believed that the highest task of human life was individuation, the lifelong process of becoming the person you truly are, not the person your family imagined, not the person society rewards, not the person your fears constructed. That journey cannot be borrowed. No one can walk it for you. There will be moments when the crowd will not understand your silence. They may call it distance, they may call it selfishness, they may call it failure, but not everyone will recognize that some disappearances are actually rebirths. Do not disappear because you hate the world. Disappear because you refuse to lose yourself inside it. Step away long enough to hear your own thoughts, to question your borrowed beliefs, to meet the parts of yourself that have waited patiently behind all the noise. And when you return, return without the mask, without the performance, without the desperate need to be everything to everyone. Return with a quieter mind, a stronger spirit, and a life that finally belongs to you. Because maybe the greatest discovery you will ever make is not who the world thinks you are, but who remains when the world goes silent. Some seasons are not meant for being seen. They are meant for becoming. Disappear for a while. Not so the world misses you, but so you can finally meet the person you were always meant to become. If this video has resonated with you this far, I'd like for you to like it, share it with someone you think it will resonate with too, and drop a comment. This will help the Human Mirror reach much more people who will find resonation with it. It has been my pleasure as always to sit with you. This has been the Human Mirror. Look closely, you are never invisible. I'll see you in the next reflection.